Will Ruiz try to jump on Klitschko early on? Looking for that right hand straight away. Klitschko with his awkward but sometimes effective style gets in with a right hand as they work in close to... Who establishes control with the jab? Watch for that as it gets...
I think the jab is a key, Ian. Somebody's got to try and get control with that punch.
And although Klitschko is a couple of inches taller at 6'7", it's Ruiz who has the reach advantage of about 6 inches. It's a huge 84-inch wingspan for Ruiz.
Well, I'm sure Klitschko's getting his first surprise, feeling the physical strength of Lennox Lewis. I think all the fighters that go strong he is.
Maybe he's feeling the strength of Klitschko too. Gets there with a right hand that momentarily seemed to trouble Ruiz, who hasn't got his jab going yet.
Well, the right hand is the danger, so we'll be looking to capitalise on that.
No sign of Klitschko freezing early on. He's holding his own. Ruiz is giving away 6 years. Klitschko's only lost once in 33 fights, and that was on an injury. It's a good start this by Klitschko, who rams in a very good-looking right hand. He's getting the better of things in this opening round.
Thirsty, and he's getting through with that jab.
And the right hand forces Ruiz back. Signs of early problems, but Ruiz has been there and done it so many times before. 18 stone, 4.5 pounds around. He's looking for the right hand over the top. Ruiz does sometimes leave his left quite low and leaves himself open to that. At last, Ruiz gets the jab working and an uppercut.
Yeah, I think Klitschko's already breathing heavily after that first round. First round, which he was a little busier in, and he got through with a couple of nice shots.
They love a big fight in LA. They haven't had enough of them. But this Staples Center had a thriller between Shane Mosley and Oscar De La Hoya a couple of years back. Klitschko started well, but can Ruiz get his jab going? Oh, there's a big right hand from Klitschko. He seemed pretty nervous all week. I had no emotion, he said, when I heard I was fighting Ruiz. And yet again, his quick hands troubling the long reigning champion.
A little bit of sharpness early on.
Well, there might be ring rust. Over a year out of the ring, it's the longest break in his... Taking this at 2 weeks' notice and gets it with the right hand, and Ruiz wants to hold. He's hurt by that. He wanted to hold. Klitschko has got him a bit wobbly here. Ruiz is in trouble here in round 2. Early on here. Can Ruiz turn this around again? He's hit with the right hand by this big, strong Ukrainian.
Ruiz looking torn.
This might happen when we saw the weighing, but there's a left jab of some authority by Ruiz, and that rocked Klitschko momentarily. Stopped him in his tracks. It was a heavy, heavy shot. Best yet from Ruiz. But Klitschko comes back again, and Ruiz, his defense looks a bit leaky tonight.
Well, I think there's definite ring rust there. He's looking slow and ponderous.
The longer this goes, it won't get any easier. Another right hand and another one from Klitschko, who looks the boss at the moment. But you never know. This is the kind of fight where one punch could turn the whole thing around.
Well, Lennox is trying to take the fight to Klitschko, but he's walking on the punches as he comes forward.
Klitschko got there with a left hook as well. Ruiz is trying to gamble with big shots. He's forgotten the jab, and he's leaving himself really open. He just looks a shadow of himself at the moment. Where's that authority and sharpness and snap? And Klitschko...
At the moment, all he's doing is walking forward, trying to gamble, and he's leaving himself wide open. Klitschko's teeing off with big right hands like that. He just seems to be without any sort of game plan. He doesn't seem to know what he wants to do, Lennox.
Stewart seems certain that the hook is going. Klitschko, Dr. Iron Fist, as he's known. He's beginning to show why in here. And now Ruiz goes for it. Is he going to show championship quality here with an all-out attack?
Well, ever known. So he's got to try and do something special here.
Looks a bit of damage by Ruiz's left eye. And there's a cut now by Klitschko's left. As he turns around, Klitschko is cut by the left eye.
Good work with the jab from Klitschko.
Well, there'll be tremendous excitement in the city square in Kiev, where I think 100,000 people were planning to gather to watch this. but Lewis isn't done with yet. Not quite.
This is better from Lewis.
He's got a real problem with that cut, Glenn.
He has, and we know he doesn't react well when he's injured. Crit the last time has only lost.
The better of things. Now Lewis starts to find the range with that jab. Is Klitschko going to be discouraged by the injury? This is where his lack of experience at this rarefied level might. There's the jab again. Is there a turning of the tide in this round with the cut? He walked into a right hand, Lewis, but walked straight through it, surprisingly.
The left hand is down from Lewis. He can't afford to gamble too much.
The cut's a terrible mess. It's almost a case of which of these two oak trees will be the last standing in the forest.
But I think that cut has worried Klitschko.
They need to get to work on that, and quickly. Otherwise, it might signal the end of his hopes in the fight. He looks dispirited all of a sudden. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
A really, really bad cut.
Oh, a horrible gash, which might signal the end of the fight.
That Ian.
No, it's a really bad gash, and it's a shame. He was caught too with jabs, and once he got the jab going, he got some other punches going too, Lewis.
Well, that showed that right hand.
Klitschko has to go for it here.
Big right hand from Lewis.
He's mauling. There's no knockdown there. He missed with the left hand. Oh, and Klitschko then looked as if he tried to kick Lewis while on the floor. Lewis picks him up. Burst into applause.
Lewis just looking for the big right hand. He senses victory, senses he can land.
There are moments here where they both look ready to go.
Lewis was caught a little short right hand, still dropping that left. Got to be careful in there.
What about Lewis's stamina, Glenn? And somehow he's come through it.
Well, nobody's ever doubted Lewis's heart.
Another big right hand. But Lewis gets back again with the jab. It's fascinating, this. You wouldn't like to call it from this point, would you?
You certainly wouldn't. It's a really tough fight for both these competitors.
The feeling that one of these two is going to... Last few seconds of round 4. Klitschko just the busier. The two heavyweights who look like they've done some stopped Roy Harris, who is at ringside tonight, still looking well. Here's the round that Emmanuel Stewart, the trainer of Lewis, predicted a finish in.
Lewis looking for the uppercut.
Good left hand from Lewis, turned the punch cleverly. But Klitschko's been used to going long distances in his recent fights. 6 out of the last 7 have gone at least 9 rounds.
Well, he's loading up an awful lot, Lennox. That'll take a lot more out of him as he hammers that body.
Well, he's hit in about a dozen shots to the rib cage. Is Klitschko prepared to go through the pain barrier this time, to fight in the trenches? He's going to do it this time. He can't walk away from it as he did when he had the shoulder pain, he said that night. Others didn't believe him.
Good left hook there from Klitschko.
He seems to be just the boss, doesn't he? Lewis looking a bit troubled and disorganised as he sacks against the ropes. Is he trying to just play possum a bit and invite Klitschko in? I don't think so. I think he's tired. He's tottering a bit around the ring, Lewis.
He is, I think he's feeling it.
He might not win it at all. Lennox is getting a bit swollen under his left eye too. Showing good boxing ability as well. Klitschko is just caught there by a right hand. Luckily it just seemed to glance off the temple rather than catch him flush. The cut's worse again for Klitschko, and it comes at a point where he looks dominant.
Good jab from Lennox there.
If the fight was stopped because of that cut now, they would go to the scorecards. Lewis fought well for the last 20 seconds of the round, but Klitschko breathes heavily as he goes back to the corner, and his face is a mess. Is there a cut on the cheek as well, or is that just the blood from the eye?
I think the cheek's cut as well, Ian.
Another gas.
All around that left eye is swollen and cuts. It's exactly the same as me. The others all to Klitschko, who's just been busier.
The crowd in this $375 million arena sense a possible shock, but it's only of Lennox Lewis's third reign as world heavyweight champion. Our American TV colleagues have it closer, with Klitschko only a point ahead. Good shots again from the Ukrainian. These two fighters were involved. Just being around Lewis, he sensed weaknesses about him. He studied him, fought the fight 1,000 times in his head. Oh, what an uppercut from Lewis! Absolute peach, but Klitschko took that too without doing his bottle here, isn't he now?
He really is. With such damage, he's still around the eye.
Worth reminding ourselves that in his last fight, Vitaly Klitschko was the first man to stop the durable lead. I think that uppercut has caused blood from Klitschko's mouth as well. He's just scoring, by the way, as the heads clash on the
real action in this round, a lot of clinching.
Sharp little left hook, and Klitschko looks strong as he bulls Lewis back across the ring. Not too bows anything. But I think Lewis tonight might have met someone who's as physically strong as him.
Yeah, I think that might be true. And if he is, Lennox will be feeling it more.
Oh, there's the uppercut again from Lewis, who is showing some championship quality because he's tired, but this is not a fighter at his peak anymore. This is around the age that Joe Lewis and Muhammad Ali came apart at the seams.
Turn your head around. It's down to your level. You got to get on. You get it out.
Having a look at the damage at Klitschko's eye.
Think it's in now? I know. Should we stop it? Huh? Stop it?
They've stopped the fight. They've stopped the fight, and they're going to declare Lewis the winner. They think it was caused by a punch. It doesn't go to the scorecards. The crowd are in uproar, but Lewis is still the champion. Klitschko cannot go on because of the cuts. The end comes suddenly at the end of round 6. In a fight that must have been in the balance. But I think there's going to be a row here. Should they be going to the cards?
Well, there's arguments. Klitschko's shouting no, no, he can't believe it.
I don't think Klitschko knows he was retired. Absolute mayhem here. Arguments going on. Lewis has been declared the winner by the referee, who must have thought a cut caused it, but if it was deemed to be a clash of heads, an accidental, they should be going to the scorecards.
They should be. He's furious in there. Klitschko and Lennox Lewis being declared the winner here.
The big Los Angeles crowd are not happy about that ending, but those are bad injuries. Klitschko is claiming a moral victory, and it would be interesting to know what the cards were saying at that point, wouldn't it?
It certainly would be. Lennox, who's got a cut on the nose in the last round. But the crowd have rallied around to Klitschko's case a little bit.
We await some clarification, but we believe Lennox Lewis has been declared the winner of the fight. Certainly the referee did that. And Adrian Ogan is in there, the manager of Lewis. Klitschko's people are making a point about it. It's getting a bit tasty in there. One or two people are losing their tempers. And somebody needs to keep it under control.
Well, I think it's Klitschko mainly who is the antagonist. He's furious at what's gone on. His brother Vladimir trying to calm him down.
What did your card say at the point it was stopped?
I have Klitschko 2 points ahead.
And I had Klitschko leading 2 at that point. Listen to the boos. The crowd here believe that Klitschko has got a raw deal, if indeed he has lost the fight. This is one of the most controversial finishes in heavyweight history, certainly in recent times.
Well, the crowd are on Klitschko's side.
It's unsatisfactory, isn't it?
It is. I was sure that we heard Billy Klitschko asking Lewis for a rematch.
Which I think, by popular demand, he ought to get. Whether Lewis wants that kind of argument again, such a physical, hard fight, must be very much open to question. But we believe Lennox Lewis is still the heavyweight champion of the world after the drama.
After 6 grueling rounds of heavyweight championship boxing here at Staples Center, Los Angeles, the bout is called to an end. Referee Lou Moret, acting on the advice of Dr. Paul Wallace at ringside, has called a halt to the contest because of severe injuries suffered by Klitschko. The winner, officially at the end of 6 rounds by TKO victory, and still heavyweight champion of the world.